Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this week's weekly tarot and oracle card reading. So, new moon in Cancer. You know what? I think I got toward the end of the week last week and I just felt like the reading from last Sunday was just starting to encompass so much of that actual reading that I was like, why did I think I needed to do another reading? So basically, there was a lot of femininity coming through toward the end of last week, a lot of the divine feminine. And as I got toward the end of the week, I started feeling more and more of the feminine to the point where I was just like, I just couldn't even function. So I don't know if you all are like me and just started getting message after message after message and like just feeling all the feelings. But also, there was a point last week where I also had this hit of very like, oh, like solutions started coming in, and I started being a little, not even a little more, but basically I was like, oh, why was I worried about the things that I was worried about? Which was basically like the realization that I had last week. So, you know, that's why I didn't do a new moon reading, because I just felt like what I did on last Sunday was just enough for the new moon. But I still came into this reading with still holding the energy of the new moon that came in on Friday, and also reading for the rest of this week as well. So let's feel into this after I do a reading, just this Moonology card. Let's see, where did I put the book is in the box. So let's take care of that. So this is the Moonology Oracle Cards deck. And I'm just going to read about the new moon in Cancer, since we're still in that phase. So this says you and your loved ones are safe. Let's go ahead and read the new moon. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forwards with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. Attune to the moon. Make sure you put your family first, or yourself first, if it's you that you need to put first. Additional meanings for this card: let someone get a bit closer to you. A new cycle is starting for your child or children. It's time to review your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help you banish your insecurities, and spending time near water will bring you peace and answers. The teaching. The new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. Saying that the moon is very happy in the sign of Cancer. It's one of her 2 home signs along with Taurus. So whenever you pull it, this card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It's especially positive for family matters. And actually, that's been very true for me lately. Just good things with family, good things with friends. And I was also reading, we also came out of the shade, like the aftermath of Mercury retrograde. So we are completely out of Mercury retrograde. So you might have also felt a shift there where there were more things coming in, more communications, stuff like that coming in. Now, when we talk about the new moon in Cancer, Cancer is represented in tarot by the card of the Chariot. I'll just pull these out so that you can see them. So that's the Chariot from the Wild Unknown deck. Just going to set this here. And this is the card from the Rider-Waite. And then, of course, also we have the card from the Black Power tarot deck, which is represented by Little Richard. Little Richard. If you're familiar with Little Richard, he was very, very flamboyant, very, and I think this is actually really, really interesting that Khan chose Little Richard for this card, because Little Richard was very flamboyant, excuse me, and very feminine. He brought a femininity into this crazy, you know, there was this, the masculine and the feminine into this rock and roll space. So I just think that was amazing. And he also brought this kind of a sexual fervor into it as well. Yeah. So there you have it, the Chariot card. Now, what does the Chariot card mean when we are looking at tarot? The Chariot, sometimes it means, overall, it means success. It means being driven. It means, you know, you are taking your successes and your failures and you're moving forward regardless, with energy and with good thoughts, with higher levels of thought too. Yeah, you're taking all your gifts and you're moving forward. Now, this could also very straightforwardly mean a new car or transportation or something like that. But overall, the Chariot is a card of success, and it's a major arcana card. So I'll go ahead and put these to the side. Actually, I'm still trying to figure out which deck to use for this reading, but we'll go ahead and keep Little Richard up here as our Black Power, our Black Power tarot card as our overall theme. I think I'll use Rider-Waite this time. So I call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading for the week of July 11th. For the week of July 11th, 2021. And also, just a reminder, if you're going through this, we're still in very powerful manifestation with this new moon. So, of course, the things that we do with the new moon are, we set our intentions of what we want to see by the time the full moon comes around. So, a lot of this time should be spent in meditation, should be spent, you know, doing the things of the sign of Cancer. And it's quite interesting. I felt a really, lately I've found myself hanging out with a lot of my friends and their daughters, or I keep bumping into, you know, a woman and her daughter. And I thought that was just such an interesting energy to be in. So to me, there has been this idea of kind of like a double feminine here. The mother and the daughter. And it's almost very healing aspect that I feel. Now the other part is, you know, a lot of people talk about the sign of Cancer being very emotional and very, you know, very mothering and very very much that mother energy. But at the same time, I think what people miss is that they're also really strong mothers. Like, they will go to bat for their babies, right? So I think that's something to keep in mind, is that energy of the mother, right, is also, it's not just, let me take care of you, let me feed you, let me do this, let me do that, but it's also, let me protect you. Let me help you out against people that might be, wanting to do something, like, not just people, but like, let me protect you in addition to nurturing you. So this could be also like a mama bear energy. All right, so let's do one more, and we'll go ahead and ask the spirits for some guidance for the week of July 11th, 2021. Thank you, Spirit. Wow, thank you. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Oof. Really? No, that was an accident. Oh. Okay. All right. Cool. So, let's see what we have. Put that up there. Can you see that? Yes, you can. We've got 4 cards out. First, we've got the Nine of Cups. Then we've got the Six of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, of course, I've been switching it up all the time, but I just felt like the energy of this week was still in the keeping of Cancer, and keeping with the sacral chakra energy, right? That sacral chakra energy. I've got belly dance music going to kind of wake up that chakra, that sacral energy, get the hips moving, right? So I decided to do this off the cuff again, as I usually did in the past. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Just give me 1 second. It's interesting, in some of the pre-readings that I was doing over the last couple of days, the High Priestess came up before. And the High Priestess is it's actually represented by the moon in the sky. And the High Priestess, wow, this is funny, the High Priestess is actually the Shekinah energy that I was feeling last week. And I was reading it in the cards last week, and she now appears. So let's look at where we are in this reading. The Nine of Cups. Cups are our emotions, they're our relationships, they are our feelings, they are anything to do with the emotional life, that sacred emotional life. And it could also be intuition. But the Nine of Cups gets us into this, you see this man sitting here on this bench. He's got all the cups ready. He's just kind of sitting and waiting. And the 9 in almost any of the suites is typically a card about standing alone in that energy, standing independently in that energy. Now, of course, it's very different when we think about the Nine of Swords, even though the Nine of Swords is not in this reading. But when I think about the 9 in any of the suites, what we're looking at is one of independence, one of standing and taking notice or taking action. But really, it's an energy of standing in a singular space as the self, and really looking deeply into the strength of that suite, or really taking in the highest energy on your own in that suite. So We've got sorry, I turned my TV off. You heard that sound. So the Nine of Cups is, to me, a lot of times it says, I have learned and felt all the feelings and all the emotions. And now I invite others to come and join me. Now I set the table. Now, I've set up for the party to start. Let's do this. So this could be an invitation to new relationships. This could be, you're opening up to relationships that you haven't really worked on, and you're just inviting. It could be you're inviting people in, like this new moon in Cancer card in the Moonology deck says. The next card that we have up is the Six of Wands. I mean, this is a card of celebration, because it almost feels as if we start letting these relationships come back in, if we start celebrating, really we're moving forward in a way that is celebrated, not just supported, but celebrated, right? You see the man on the horse riding through town. He's got the wreath on his head. He's got the wreath on the stick. Wands are about actions. Wands are about fuel, fire, anything related to the fire signs. So these are things that are going to be active, that are going to be things that put you face forward, things that put you, kind of, I won't say leader of the pack, but here you are on the horse being celebrated, or at least within the celebration, you're in a group of a celebration. Maybe you're planning a celebration. Again, here in this Nine of Cups. Maybe you're the planner in that celebration. Interesting. So let's look at the High Priestess. Now, not only is the High Priestess here bringing forward this feminine gateway, right, of knowledge, this feminine gateway of the divine. This is also about mystery, secrets. This is moon energy, but it's also someone who is a writer, a keeper of knowledge. And it's also, you see the B and the J. That's I think it's Boaz, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. Joaquin. I don't think I'm pronouncing it properly, but this is like a balance of masculine, feminine, balance of the light and the dark, and it's that same energy that we see. I put it away. Let me see if I can pull it out in this deck here. But it's the same energy that we see in the Chariot card in the same deck. Let's see, where are you, Chariot? Where are you, Chariot? Here we go. But it's that same kind of balance, right? That balance. The balance in that, the dark and the light. Wow. Wow. I'm going to put this back in the deck here. All right. So, let's see. The High Priestess. Whenever I think of the High Priestess, I think of someone who writes. I think of someone who, it reminds me of the very first writer and the very first recorded author, and Hedwana, I think that's her name, and I have a tongue twister today. I'm so sorry, but she was the first writer, and she wrote all about. She was a priestess for the goddess Inanna. And she wrote all this praise about the goddess, and I think that's where we start honoring the feminine by doing whatever this celebration is, whatever this is about honoring the feminine, honoring the that balance of masculine and feminine into the one body. And it's just crazy that I just felt that that when I was talking and I was shuffling the cards and talking about how there's the two sides of Capricorn. It's not just the side of the nurturing mother, the one that soothes all your wounds, but it's also the acting mother, that the mama bear who protects her cubs. This is someone who creates boundaries and safety measures for her cubs, because of love, because of the mother, right? Wow. So then we have the Wheel of Fortune card. Now, Wheel of Fortune there's a duality in this card too. There's beginning and ending. And a lot of times, like it's interesting, when I was learning about the tarot, when I first started learning, you can see in the card, it says tarot around the circle. And so there's this balance of when one thing ends, another thing begins. And then there's this, it's 10, so it's a card of completion, but the Wheel of Fortune also says that we are in control of our own destiny, which is also very close to this, it's very close to the Chariot again. We're in charge of where we go. We're using both that masculine and feminine energy, that light and dark energy, but we use it to propel us forward in any direction. It's success in any direction. Success. So now comes to the point where we really have to decide, what direction are we going to go into? And I think that's where the Wheel of Fortune actually really solidifies. You are in charge. Excuse me, my throat is clogged up a little bit, but you are in charge. We see books and learn each of the signs here, reading. We see all the directions. You can go in any direction and find success. Any direction. You just have to go. I think that's something a friend told me when I was, waffling between where to start and what to do as far as training for a certain event. And he was like, just do something. Like, it doesn't matter. Just go do it. And so I think that's the message here, is not only just being the keeper of knowledge, but now it's time to act on that knowledge. It's time to move forward. Excuse me 1 second, I'm going to get some water. Thank you. Okay. So, let's see. At the bottom of the deck, right, we have the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, again, it popped up last time. It's divine truth. It's the one to rule them all. It's grand vision. And it's basically like, this is the vision. Keep going toward the vision. Keep moving toward the vision. Okay. So where are we time-wise? 24 minutes. Let's get some guidance. I am going to use the Magdalene Oracle. Let's see if we can get some guidance there. Magdalene Oracle, an ocean of eternal love. Because I feel a lot of the feminine here, so I want to just kind of get that. See what that is. Yeah, I know. Sorry, talking to myself because I am feeling a presence behind me and I'm not sure what it is. But I'm not going to freak out about it because maybe it's supposed to be there. Alright. Thank you, Spirit. Let's get some guide. Wow. Ah, look at that. Intimacy. First one to pop up. Intimacy. Let's go ahead and read. Magdalene Oracle. Reading intimacy. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. So she's not nude, but, you know, artistically she might be. There's no... Oh well, whatever. You may have been emotionally hurt in the past, and as a result you are now reluctant to share your feelings with others because you fear being hurt again. It is understandable that you have placed a protective shield around your heart. However, it's now time to drop the armor because at present it is preventing a worthwhile relationship from forming. There is someone who dearly loves you, and the love this person has for you is real. However, he or she is afraid to reveal their true feelings for fear of rejection. Like you, they also fear being hurt. Trust and share your feelings and experiences openly and honestly. You'll be amazed at what unfolds. The most intimate relationships are usually formed through tears and laughter. So don't be afraid to express your feelings, fears, and vulnerabilities. The past is now behind you. Release it, and embrace the new. Yeah, wow. I mean, that's also what the new moon in Cancer card said for the Moonology deck. So I think while it's not super closely tied into this reading, while it's not super closely tied into the reading, it is tied into this feeling with the new moon. And you still have time to, yes, invite people in and be celebrated or celebrate with the knowledge that you have, right, about the feminine mystique, about the moon, things with the moon, and really taking action regardless of what that action is. It's informed action. And if that action brings you intimacy, that's what this new moon is about. And keeping your vision, right? Keeping this is a divine, you know, anytime we see the aces, right? Anytime we see the aces, this is a gift from the heavens. This is a vision from above. Boom. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it is useful for you as you go about through the week. Yeah, I cannot wait to see you all next week. I'm interested in doing a little bit more. I'm just still trying to figure out how to do that and where the time is going to come from that I'm going to do that in. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the week. I will see you next weekend.